Welcome to our unique chat show, Your 1% on voicesandviews.com. Our national policy says that primary education is compulsory for children. The fact is, there are over 3 million children out there on the streets with no hope of ever learning to read or write. If even 1 in 100 educated people, that is 1%, devote just 1% of their time towards a cause, we can take our society forward. Today we have as our guest Remila Purvankara, the founder and managing trustee of Taksheel Foundation. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Remila, what is Taksheel Foundation and how did you begin this foundation?
2 years ago, I lost my son Taksheel in a drowning accident while he was on a college trip. Chance conversation that I had with him where he mentioned that Mom, long after I'm dead and gone, I want to be remembered for the good work that I do and that we're all here for a purpose. Somehow that statement kept playing in my mind. And the only way I could think about it to keeping his name alive, keeping his memory alive, was by doing good work in his name. And what better than education? Education is something that we all believe in. Especially Taksheel was very good at academics and he was an all-rounder too.
How old was Taksheel at the time of this accident?
He was 19 years old when he died.
And what was he studying?
He was doing a second year architecture.
Where were you when you heard this news?
I was at home getting ready to go to work. He was on a study trip to Banaras with college and he was on a boat ride which was not a part of the itinerary. He drowned in the Ganges.
What were the initial steps that you had to take in order to formulate your idea and make it into a concrete foundation?
Honestly speaking, it started with the neighbor's maid asking me to teach her children English. And from there on, I started with 2 students at home. Then I realized there were more students who were in need of help. I approached the local garden and where they gave me space free of cost to start off. I met another lady who was also interested in teaching. Together we started with 4 students in March last year. Today we have over 60 students having 3 batches. We also have vocational guidance centers for girls. We are doing this in about 2 schools. I'm also working with 4 municipal schools where we are guiding them in English, in the curriculum as well as spoken English. Apart from being given financial help for their education, we also coach them and prepare them for the examinations. We also counsel the parents on the importance of education. The challenge here is in getting the students to come to the class because the parents believe that by the time they're 13 and 14 they can go out and start earning money instead of spending money on education. So we also we counsel the parents, telling them the importance of education and also give them support in terms of providing their fees to pull them through at least till the 12th standard. So that, and then we want to push them into vocational guidance so they can have an opportunity to have better jobs. But we had children as young as 4 years old and adults, rickshaw drivers, watchmen, maids who are about 35 to 40 years old who wanted to learn. So we widened our horizons a little bit, saying that anybody who wants an education and who can't afford it can come to us.
Where is this garden based?
This garden is based at Lokhandwala complex and the Lokhandwala Association has been extremely supportive and helpful.
And what are the frequency of your classes?
In the garden we have it on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. We also have classes at a Balwadi school at Oshiwara which is twice a week on weekdays.
How do you fund your
We have fundraising exhibitions. In fact, we've been having a series of them since last October. The products sold are made by the volunteers of the foundation. We are also teaching the girls. We have a vocational guidance and we have an activity session where we teach the children how to make crochet necklaces and paper bags and different diyas. So these products are sold and the money is utilized for the students themselves.
Tell me, Remila, you know, when we read about street children, we hear that they undergo a lot of domestic problems. They have to face sexual abuse. Do you provide any counseling for them on these issues?
We did want to do counseling on sexual abuse especially, but we found a lot of resistance from the parents. We did try introducing it in the BMC schools. Unfortunately, even there they were not open to it. That is something that we are still working on. Sexual abuse is very, very rampant today, but no one is willing to open their eyes to it. We do have a counsellor with us. So any student we find has behavioural problems, the counsellor does spend time with them under the guidance of the volunteers of the organization.
Now that it has been around for 2 years now, when was Taksheel Foundation?
Taksheel Foundation was registered on December 19th, 2009.
2009.
So
now it's about
over a year.
Yes, over a year. And what kind of response are you getting when you go to sponsors or when you go to these corporates? What kind of response are you getting?
It's only now that we've started approaching corporates. The first 1 year I was very clear that we do some little amount of work to show what we are all about. People have started approaching us. In fact, it's nice to say that they have started approaching us. The funds are not enough, but yes, it is a good start and there is a positive feedback from people. Definitely, if we had more funds, we could look at more things that we could do. Provide more better educational centers for children, even recreational centers for children. If you go to the slum schools, the hygiene is very, very pathetic. So we're also looking at healthcare and activities that we can do for the children.
Tell me about the profile of these volunteers who come to you.
The volunteers are of two types. The one segment is the student volunteers who are either in their masters or have just finished studying. They volunteer with us in terms of helping out with the exhibitions, fundraising activities, promotional activities of the foundation, or even just coming and spending time with the children and giving them a good recreation time. The other segment consists of teachers with 15 to 20 years of teaching experience, people who've been in corporates, ex-CEOs, people who are working with different companies, with engineering backgrounds, different backgrounds, all who've come together to form part of the advisory committee or even form the trustee committee and help out in their different ways, either with their advice, with wisdom, with knowledge, with guidance, or with money also. Most important is the time that they give to us without expecting anything in return. I think from the time this organization has been set up, a lot of people have come into my life and who've given selflessly to the organization without expecting anything in return. And honestly, this organization would not even have reached this place where it is today without any of their support. If any of you all would like to volunteer, please write into us at info@taksheelfoundation.org.
Remila, now you are contributing so much support and financial help towards these street children. What do you expect from them?
We do tell them that nothing is free. We are teaching them free of cost today, but I do expect something from them in return. Tomorrow when they are settled in their jobs, when they are secure, they have to go out and teach one child. Each one teach one. Maybe that way that will spread.
Tell me, are there any incentives that you are offering to make it attractive for the students to come back to you or to the classes?
We offer incentives not only for the students who come to our classes, but also to the BMCs, to the municipal schools that we work with. Fees are provided by the government, but term fees, examination fees, computer fees, fees for extra classes. Then we provide books. The textbooks again are given by the school, but notebooks have to be bought, which most students don't. So we provide the notebooks, the compass boxes for geometry, the stationery that is required for the examinations. We also provide extra books like science journals, maths journals. All these extra things which the parents are not able to afford and which actually deters the students from coming to school. We also provide uniforms for schools because we noticed that the children come to school with one set of uniform which they wear throughout the week and it's only washed at the end of the week. So we give them extra sets of uniforms. So all these are small ways to retain their attendance in the school. The school also goes along, does a lot in trying to keep the students in by providing them free meals also. So we work along with the schools to do all this.
The school authorities did not have a problem with your taking extra classes for them or trying to teach them something which is not in their syllabus?
Not at all. In fact, the school principals have been very, very supportive and encouraging. All the schools that we've been to, the principals have been very, very supportive. It is their challenge also to retain the students in the school. One school even mentioned that they had 2,000 students and right now they have only 700 students because the children are being pulled out in the 8th standard because the parents expect them to go back and work. We do give out trophies in the BMC schools for the highest achiever in standard 10 boy and highest achiever girl, irrespective of their percentages, along with a cash prize which can be an incentive for the other students. Apart from these, we also give scholarships to students between 5th and 10th standard for those who scored well in academics. We not only encourage students who have done well, we also provide books and other facilities for students who have scored say between 50 and 70% because I strongly believe even if somebody's got 50%, seeing the circumstances and the environment that they come from, that is really commendable. So we try and encourage these students. These small cash incentives are only actually to push them to do a little better in their studies. All my years in the corporate field never gave me the satisfaction that the smiles of these children give me today. Today, I don't have my son, but in all these children, I see my son and all these little children who come up to me. There is a blind student who comes on weekends, and seeing his smiling face come out teaches me a lesson that I have a lot to be thankful for. He always comes into class extremely bright, extremely nice, but blind from birth. In fact, I would like to appeal to all of you, if somebody can help him out in any way by suggesting a doctor or helping out in any other way, please do contact us. He's a 9-year-old boy who's blind from birth. A cornea transplant would really help him see the world.
Remila, have you completely got over this tragedy? It's been 2 years now.
Taksheel was my world. I don't think I'll ever get over this tragedy, ever. It just gets worse with time. No, initially you think he's coming back, he's gone to study, he'll be back in a year, he'll be back in 6 months, but now it kind of hits you. The days go by, the children help. In their little anecdotes, I see Taksheel's mischief. Taksheel, his unfulfilled dreams, all this. Taksheel was very ambitious. He wanted to be known as one of the best architects in the world. He used to tell me, Mom, when we're flying up there, when you look down, you should see my buildings. Everybody should be able to see my buildings. And I used to constantly tell him, don't be over ambitious. And he used to say, no, Mom, let me fly, let me go. So when he went, and it kept hitting me that I let Taksheel do everything, and this was something he couldn't fulfill. So this was my way of keeping his memory alive. I don't have architectural skills to be able to do that for him. So I chose to do this. Rather than build a college in his name or have an institution in his name, I thought this was the best way. In this way, on a day-to-day basis, I'm also interacting with the children. I get some kind of emotional satisfaction from them. And in each of them, I see a little bit of my Taksheel there. Taksheel is never going to come back, and that's a reality which is very, very hard to accept. When your whole world goes away, you collapse, and then you either fall or you pull yourself up and you tell yourself that you're going to show your son that you're the best mother ever. I want him to be proud of me, even from there.
Thank you, Remila, for coming here on this chat show and sharing with us your joys, your sorrows, your memories of your son Taksheel, and the wonderful, inspiring work that you are doing with Taksheel Foundation. The pain of the death of an only child can be healed with tears. But what this brave young mother has done is to enshrine his memory in our minds. Taksheel Foundation can expand their activities and realize their aims and objects with generous help from you as sponsors and volunteers. But till we meet again, we hope you and I will do our 1% to society. Goodbye.